Greetings! What is up? And a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining. The magpie is casting. Coming to you guys today with a 1 vs 1 live rematch! That's right! Featuring, spawning in the west, it's going to be the United States forces of Hama. And spawning in the east, it's going to be the Overcommand West forces of IIPLII CaptainSPrice. I literally just cast a game between these two. That was on Langraskaya. Damn good game it was. Very interesting to watch. And I thought I'd just check back into the live games lobby and see if they're back in any other games. Turns out they are back in other games, or rather they're back in another game, singular, because there's a rematch going down. So, yep, that's right, these two have literally just played each other, so I thought it would be super interesting to take a look at them going at it again. The map is a more interesting one, it's Semioski Winter. The players are very interesting. Let's see if they're going to shift up their builds at all. Now, thankfully, Price has decided to stick as Overcommand. He often changes nation, but this is going to be really interesting because we can see off the back of the previous game that we just watched, or that I just watched, we can see how he decides to change up his build or what adjustments he decides to make. It's always interesting watching players who know each other reasonably well play against each other. Whenever you get, people who are staying in a team house playing each other, ex-clanmates or present clanmates, just people who practice a lot against each other or have a lot of experience playing against each other, you get to metagame a lot harder when you know your opponent. And it's always super interesting to watch in most RTSs, so I'm psyched about this. Let's see what happens. Storm Pioneer is going to get a pretty good engagement with these rear echelon troops. They're probably going to gun them down through the... Whoa, having said that, actually, the rear echelon's making some ground up here. Going to get the first kill in. Of course, that reduces the damage output on these Storm Pioneers by 25%. That's right, maths for the win. So getting that first kill is pretty pivotal. Here comes some Riflemen to support. In the rest of the map, we've got some Volksgrenadiers up north doing some capturing. More Volksgrenadiers just entering the field. For our allied player, it's Rifleman and double rear echelon is the choice. So rear echelon are pretty damn spicy, actually. No, they're not worth anything in a fight, at least until you've got weapon racks or they get some veterancy. But they're like super cheap. They're like pretty much the cheapest non-doctrinal squad in the game. Oh, possible squad wipe going down here though. Price is going to play it for advantage, and he gets it. A brutal squad wipe being inflicted, and a nice early pickup for the Overcommand player. Now, who's going to get into this building first? They both rush for it, but it looks like the Riflemen are going to find the door first. The Storm Pioneers are probably they're going to be forced back at this point. Here we go. And they're going to have to get out of there. And a mechanized regiment HQ has been established by Price. Looks like he's going to play this one a little bit left field, going for some slightly less often seen tech. So let me just see, is he using fuel conversion on this beast? Yes, he is. So it looks like we're going to see the good old 6/7 minute Puma. Let's keep our eye out for that. Of course, he needs the 70 fuel to pay for that, and then it needs to build. We're at 3 minutes 30 now. He's got 36 fuel. He's getting 19 per minute, although that's probably going to increase as he takes more points. Now, we've got Rifleman capping both of these points near mid, and he's probably going to take the victory point shortly. Volksgrenadiers have gotten established in this building, and they're just trading with some rear echelons. Volksgrenadiers are capping just here on the mini-map. You can see them up in the north, and looks like another squad of Riflemen. That brings the total count up to 3 coming in now. So 3 squads of Riflemen, 2 of rear echelons on the field right now. That pretty much, I mean, if a big fight was taken, would win out against 3 of Volks and a Storm Pioneer squad. But of course, at the moment, everyone's just skirmishing for advantage all over the map rather than trying to take a big fight. And that, of course, makes sense. So, these Volksgrenadiers are actually not fighting from cover. I would like it if they just got into this cover here or something. That would actually make a difference. They could even, if they're feeling brave, are there any heavy cover around here? No, not really. So I think getting into cover here is good. If you can hit these guys, that's really good, because they're obviously, if you were shooting from this angle, you'd be ignoring this cover that they're, it wouldn't be in the way, you see. Anyway, these Volksgrenadiers in the building taking an awful lot of fire. 3 squads now hooning on them, and they're going to have to get out of the building. There we go, and there comes the fallback. So they're going to make a break for home. Up in the north, these Volksgrenadiers are, they've established some sandbags, but they're probably shortly to come into contact with some rear echelon troops. That's a fight that they should take, all other things being equal. And the Storm Pioneers, they're back out on the field. They're going to grab the south victory point and shortly munitions point, although they may come into contact with this rear echelon squad. Again, that's a fight that they should take. So, oh wow, a squad of Riflemen has broken through, and they are decapping the Overcommand fuel point. That's frustrating. It's not going to be a Puma, it's a flak half-track. That's right. Wow, this is almost never seen. CaptainSPrice bringing out something special here. Really, really nice to see, even at this high level of play, you can use the flak half-track. This is a build which I myself do quite enjoy using, although I tend to delay this by 40 fuel, because what I do is I go for the battle group at HQ first, and then go for the Life of the Mechanized Company, and then as soon as the Life of the Mechanized, as soon as the Mechanized Regiment HQ finishes, you can build a flak half track. But it doesn't come out of 5 minutes, that's for sure. It comes out like 6.5 or so, something like that. I don't know. So this is going to be quite potent. Now there is a captain on the field. He's been forced back for now, but there is a captain on the field, and some mines. I believe that was mines. Yeah, it is mines because the Rifleman Defensive Structures upgrade has been taken. Hama's chosen his commander. He's gone for the Heavy Cav Company again. So yeah, mine's actually going to do a bit of a number on this half track, and when the captain rallies, he could try. Well, no, the Storm Pioneers are going to repair this way before the captain can get back in there. Some riflemen are going to come in and try and harass, but you've got to think these Volks Grenadiers are going to do quite a lot of work to screen them out. It's a shame that this building's here actually, because otherwise this flak half track could be contributing damage. Let's just check the line of sight here for Hama. Yeah, he doesn't actually know that the flak half track is there, but if he's listening, he'll be able to hear the repairs and be able to deduce that it must in fact be here. Flak half track. You don't want to expose yourself to this thing. Now here comes a smoke barrage on the flak half track. This is going to pave the way for these forces to be able to move in. And Hama, using all of the abilities of this Heavy Cav Company, you can tell he's pretty confident with it, but somehow the smoke is just actually not helping. And the flak half track is just dackering these guys who are in negative cover. That's got to be a fallback. Come on, Hama, you've got to get this captain out of here. Now he's going to try for more damage, but it's not going to work. Not the Storm Pioneers here. Wait, hang on, the Storm Pioneers have stopped repairing now. This is jeopardy now. This is jeopardy now. Oh dear, he loses the flak half track. I'm sure staying repairing was definitely the ticket there. I think playing for the extra DPS with the Storm Pioneers was asking too much. The incoming DPS from that captain was basically just too much for the half track, even with the supporting Pioneers. Yeah, that's questionable. I don't know. I wouldn't like to second guess Price or say that I've got better game sense, but I don't think pulling those Storm Pioneers off. I don't know. Maybe it would have been different if I was playing. Maybe I would have thought, yeah, that's an easy squad wipe. I'll just go for it. But bit of computer lag there. But yeah, I don't know. That just seems like an odd choice, and it has led to the demise of his flak half track. Now, 40 more fuel going to be spent on a battle group at HQ in a very forward position. Price, you spicy devil, loving it. So this is going to make it quite easy for him. You've got to think to hold the middle and the south victory point. Very hard to access the northern one. Scavenge Doctrine has been chosen at an early juncture, and here we have the Jaeger Light Infantry. They're going to be able to spot the incoming. They've got very good line of sight, Jaeger Light Infantry, so they're going to be able to spot these incoming forces. And the battle group at HQ gets deployed in the nick of time. No damage going to be put on that. Of course, when they're deploying, the overcommand trucks are very fragile. 2 squads of Jaeger Lights, actually. Spicy. I love it. You can hear that G43 just like chalking guys off. Now, there's a lot of infantry here, and the Doctrinal Special Infantry for Hama is here. These are Rangers, and they are heavy hitters. Now, he hasn't upgraded them with Tommies. I believe that's a 90 munition upgrade. Yeah, no Tommy guns coming out on them. But somewhere a squad wipe was inflicted. Uh-oh, Stewart on the field now. And there's no answer, really, for Price. This Stewart is going to get some work done, and Price is pretty much on the back foot. Hama, again, masterfully turning things around. He just got a squad wipe on these Volks Grenadiers with these riflemen. I just missed that, but I saw it occur on the mini-map. And the Stewart is going to... I don't know, he needs to pull these Jaeger Lights back, like, right now. He needs to pull them back, like, right now. The Stewart can totally run them down. Uh-oh, this one man is just going to try and hide here. Oh my goodness, and he's even taking fire from the rifleman in this building. Panzerschreck has come out for the Volks Grenadiers, and there is a Rakettenwerfer on the way, but Price already in a bit of a sticky situation here. And you can just see the effect of playing as Overcommand. You have to spend so much time defending random locations and, you know, assembling tech and stuff like that. The Price is kind of on the back foot. Now, he did lose that flak half track ignominiously, which has probably led to this situation. If he was able to keep that alive, this would look very different. But credit where credit's due. Hama there getting the kill with some mines and then a follow-up with the captain. Nicely done as well. So anyway, Medic's gonna start healing these squads, reinforcing, all happening, all good stuff. Jaegerlight Infantry are pretty potent if you can start vetting them up. And for my money, Jaegerlight Infantry are like the best infantry in the game to steal stuff with. If you see a weapon on the floor or anything like that, get your Jaegerlights in there and grab it. There's nothing they don't love to grab. You know, flamers, AT weapons, you know, Daka guns, MGs, LMGs, you know, Jaegerlight infantry, they'll take it all and they'll run with it and they'll love it. Probably owing to the fact they've just got really good base stats, like their accuracy and stuff is all really good, so yeah, they'll be hitting with whatever they get. Anyway, so these guys are going to push up. They're going to start taking this point. They're going to get into the heavy cover here and start skirmishing with the riflemen here. Jägerlights, like you should never count them out of a fight. The G43 they have, if it hits an infantryman who's at like 75% or less health, that's the actual infantryman, not the squad I'm talking about, it'll be an instant kill. So these guys are like the closest thing that Overcommand have to an actual sniper. And look, they're actually kind of out DPSing squads in buildings, which is pretty rare. I suppose they had some help from these box grenadiers. But yeah, they're pretty spicy. Here comes some rear echelons from an unexpected angle, but they're just going to get sniped as they cross the ice and then fall back. Actually, you know what? It's amazing that this ice isn't negative cover, seeing as how it is, you know, basically a road, which counts as negative cover for some reason, but the ice doesn't. Anyway, here comes the Stuart. That's going to be pushing in from the north. Price is addressing the victory point situation. He's actually ahead at the moment by some 22 points, which is pretty spicy. Rakettenwerfer are in a good position. That's going to get a hit. Of course, Jaeger Light Infantry don't really have any AT options. Oh, getting 2 good hits, actually. And there comes the fallback. No forward-fallback research completed at this point. So anyway, Ranger's going to run in, and this is dangerous having Rangers near your building. Storm Pioneers are going to get in this building though, and that should be more than enough to see off the American Elite Infantry. Storm Pioneers not something you particularly want to tangle with at point-blank range, even if you do have Tommy guns. Not in this location anyway, because they can reinforce in situ. So anyway. Jaeger Light Infantry pushing on up. They're going to grab this fuel point at their earliest convenience. It's not going to be connected, but it's very important to just deny that to the American player. He's not actually capturing. Oh dear, poor Price. That's super annoying when your infantry hug cover and it puts them just outside of the capture zone. Happens all the time. It's kind of an artifact of the way the cover system and the infantry movement works in this game. They'll always try to stand in cover if they're nearby. Anyway, Price has noticed this and has adjusted the squad's positioning, so they are now capturing as intended. All good there. Jaeger Light Infantry in this building, they're going to go up to 1-star veterancy. 1-star veterancy for the Jaeger Lights. What does it do? Oh god, it's really bad. It unlocks the field first aid ability. Was that a squad of Jaeger Lights just blasted by the Lig? Oh no, it was the Storm Pioneers. Oh no, because they were so clustered coming out the door of this building, they just all died. That's unfortunate. Where is this pack gun anyway? So it's pack howitzer. Here it is. Oh, it's getting harassed a bit actually, trying to cross the ice. And in the north, the Stuart has been repaired. Of course, you can hop out the vehicle crew and repair those very quickly. And these Jaeger Light Infantry are going to have to get out, taking some fire there from the plucky light tank. Oh dear, these Jaeger Lights also are going to get caught out. That should just be a fallback instantaneously. There's nothing they can do against this tank. I don't know. I think even if you caught it with a flat-out infiltration grenade assault, nothing would happen. I just think it would shrug it off. Anyway, another squad of Storm Pioneers. You pretty much have to have a squad of Storm Pioneers on the field as Overcommand. They're like key to most of your engagements, and of course they're the only thing you've got that can repair stuff as well. So you're going to need them alive. They're also the only unit that can build themselves a metal detector. So pretty important. Down here in the south, some rear echelons trying to make trouble. Price has managed to connect up a fuel point, which is super valid. And don't forget, he's been on fuel conversion this entire time, so that's pretty valid as well. He does have a Schwerer Max Schlepper waiting in the base, and he does have the requisite fuel to build it into a Schwerer Panzer HQ. And if he did so, he could look to secure himself a very early King Tiger. So we'll see if he goes for that. We've already seen that he does like to go for King Tigers when given the option. I myself am more of a Panther man. I don't think the King Tiger is very good at all. But it does have its place. It's useful from time to time. Anyway, Rakettenwerfer is going to be moving. I love the way that these guys are like camouflaged, allegedly, on ice. Like, that's a pretty tall order. How exactly do you make yourself invisible on ice? I mean, there's nothing here to use. Anyway, just obviously the tremendous skill of the Overcommand units more. Anyway, those guys going to see off the light tank once again. They must have, yeah, I mean, they've got like 1.5 stars of veterancy from pinging this light tank, sending it packing, and then having it repair, and then it comes back and vets them up again. Which works for the Stuart as well, because every time it comes back, it's doing really good damage. One squad of Volks remains on the field. They do have a Shrek, so let's see if they're able to find the light tank. Is this the Rangers we've got up here? No, this is the Riflemen. Oh, the Rangers have been wiped out. My bad, I didn't spot that. The Rangers have been wiped out. Quite a setback there for Hama. Rangers, what, 400 manpower? Yeah, so pretty expensive squad to lose. Didn't actually see how that happened though, but yeah. Jaeger Lights doing their thing. Jaeger Light are a squad that always wants to engage at the maximum possible range. Their accuracy very high, but their rate of fire very low, so you want to engage at long range. Let that G43 do its work. Here comes the Stuart to punish though. This could be a squad wipe unless a fallback comes down promptly. It does come down promptly. Stuart could chase, but I don't think it will, especially with this head in the way. able to secure this point right down here in the south. Price being kind of annoying with these Storm Pioneers, and if you look at the minimap, he's actually holding quite a lot of ground right now. He's making plus 28 fuel per minute against the plus 20 of his opponent. Now bear in mind that does represent using fuel conversion, so his munitions income pretty low, but that's pretty good. And here comes a Jagdpanzer 4, so this is clearly a unit which Price is very comfortable using. This is a reasonable map for the Jagdpanzer. It's not super good. I do prefer turreted vehicles on this map, and to be honest, I sort of think a Puma may have been a better choice. The reason I say this is obviously the Puma is significantly cheaper. It's 55 fuel cheaper. Wait, 65 fuel cheaper. And on this map it has a turret. It's very fast. You can really abuse all of the line of sight blockers and stuff in the middle. And I find using a Jagdpanzer 4 in the middle of the map on this map very cumbersome. Yeah, I don't know, not a lot more I can say about that. But the Jagdpanzer 4 it's still going to be a very good choice. It's still going to be very potent, and if you can position it somewhere like here, it's quite commanding. Like I say though, I just still prefer the Puma, especially when you know your opponent has a Stuart. The Puma, of course, answers the Stuart quite cleanly.
Jagdpanzer, ready for action.
Now let's see, is the forward fallback research complete? Yes, forward fallback has been researched on the Battle Gripper HQ. So Price able to use that as a forward fallback point and keep his forces in the fight for a little longer each cycle. Just bear with me, sorry, I'm just having a sip on my drink there. Now let's see, Pack Howitzer here is going to get forced back by an advance of infantry. The American's kind of dominating the north of the map right now. Not going to get a kill on this Pack Howitzer, but he's going to harry it back. Maybe force it to go back and reinforce. It's going to get redeployed though, and it's going to start firing.
We're losing a capture point.
Oh, another good hit. Instant pin on this unit, which is totally relevant because this unit has the Panzerschreck and there's a tank coming at them. Goodness me, the Pack Howitzer is just pretty damn good. And as I said in my previous cast, I cannot wait for Relic to just remove suppression on these guns. I used to think it was pretty cool when they first did it, but now anyway. Vision block gets damaged by the special round on the... Oh, this is risk! Can you get sunk on this a little bit here? I don't know. Apparently not. That's good. Well, I don't know if you can, but if the Jagdpanzer 4 took a hit there, that would be dire. Uh-oh, it's going to get anti-tank grenaded. Oh no, and is there a captain on the field? No, no captain, nobody with Zooks, so unlikely to punish the Jagdpanzer here, but certainly inconvenient having the engine broken. In fact, you know what, you can just stop it right here and repair it with the Storm Pioneers. I think that's a fine idea. Yeah, there we go. I think that's a fine choice. Now, where's the Stuart? Here it is. Stuart's been doing really well, actually. The amount of times it's been reduced to, like, no health and escape is pretty good. Pack Howitzer gets caught out again, and Price making some pretty big moves. If he could just be pushing in the north as this is occurring, he'd be profiting quite a lot. He's up by 100 tickets as well, so looking really good now, right now actually. He just needs to connect up some, needs to grab these points up here. I mean, there's no American forces defending all this swathe of land up here, so that's a fuel point, 2 other points, a munitions point, and a victory point. Which, if he could just break off a squad, here we go. Seems like these Jaeger Light Infantry gonna be the guys to get it done. Random note, of course, Jaeger Light Infantry also have the sprint ability. Not everyone knows that. Costs you 10 munitions and lets you run quickly for like 10 seconds. Pretty useful from time to time. If you need to like quickly get the flank and get that grenade barrage in, or if you need to escape from danger, or if you just want to, I don't know, run away from something nasty that's chasing you. Yeah, you know, sprint's pretty good ability. Anyway, 2-star veterancy achieved on one of these Jaeger squads. That is makes them more durable and... Oh, and it gives them camo, yeah, which is totally relevant. They also have the option to hold fire, so that's pretty good as well. The Stuart's going to come in. There is definitely a squad wipe going here, probably a squad wipe going here, actually. The Stuart's main cannon doesn't take prisoners against falling back infantry. But the Jaeger Light Infantry going to be lucky there. Oh, another possible squad wipe going here. Let's see if the Stuart's going to be able to fire and get a hit in. Oh, wow, the Jagdpanzer gets totally flustered. Don't get sunk, my friend, don't get sunk. Ooh. The way the sinking mechanics work in this game are like really sketchy. You can get sunk in like 2 feet of water if you just get hit by an explosive weapon whilst you're on ice. It can go wrong if that counts as a singable patch of ice. Now I don't know if these tiny streams count as singable patches of ice. I just know I wouldn't want my Jagdpanzer to get caught on them. I don't think they do, but then again I've thought that about other patches before and seen vehicles sunk on them, so yeah, anyway. The offensive here from Hama redoubled. He's coming back with a vengeance, and he's got, oh wow, that's a really bad camera angle, thanks Tree. Yeah, he's pushing across a wide front, as you can see here. Got an M1 AT gun in a great position, hounding back this, is that a Schwer of a Max Schlepper? Yeah. Oh wow, he's actually dackering the Battle Gripper HQ. That's down to like less than half health. A lot of damage coming in. Storm Pioneer's going to get the flank on the AT gun though. but the pack howitzer is trying to cover it. They are going to get the kill on the AT gun. That's super relevant. That's going to cause a fallback from the rest of this infantry, as they know they're not going to get the kill on this battle group at HQ without the AT gun. And there could be a salvage used on this AT gun. That would be really savvy. A grenade barrage in this location would also be nice, but no such forthcoming. Jagdpanzer's moving into position to help keep the Stuart at bay, because it is, of course, being annoying. Boom! Oh, he's actually just bringing it in to destroy the AT gun. Looks like he's going to not salvage it. And I totally accept that, because when you use the salvage doctrine, you have this thorough salvage thing here, which does mean that salvaging takes quite a long time. Oh no, the AT gun gets re-garrisoned! Oh no! But or remanned even. I don't think it's going to get out though. The accuracy of a Jaeger light infantry is pretty good, and against weapon teams, bear in mind of course in this game all squads get an accuracy bonus when firing at weapon teams. It's just part of how the game works. Mines here going to claim the life of a Volksgrenadier, but that seems like a good trade for a patch of mines. God, how nasty is that? Yeah, 1 man for a patch of mines. Good trade, good trade. Ugh, war is hell. So anyway, here we have some rear echelons. They've got the BAR. They're probably gonna actually defeat these Volksgrenadiers probably with that BAR, but we'll see. In the north, the squad of riflemen has been tasked with preventing the Axis advance. Looks like the Stuart's going to be in support there. That's now at 2 stars, so that's got it the improved main gun accuracy and rate of fire. Oh dear, that to me sounds like it's going to be quite the squad wiper. The Panzerschreck on that squad insufficient there to get a hit, and. Oh, the Jagdpanzer's like turbo damage. That needs to be repaired. He's going to back it up to the Mechanized Regiment HQ because his Storm Pioneers are busy repairing this building. But that makes sense. It's a surprisingly important task when you play as Overcommand to keep your buildings in tip-top condition, because they're on the front line, they're often being assaulted, and you never know when you're going to need that help. So, yeah, that makes sense. Possibly you could see a grenade barrage come down here. The pack howitzer gets demanned. That's going to be picked up straight away, but these Jaeger lights oh, smoke comes down to cover. But yeah, I was going to say the Jaeger lights will take that out in no time. They are super, super vicious against weapon teams. And it's been remanned again. Here comes a grenade barrage. That's an incendiary grenade, in fact. That's going to start working down the crew. And I imagine the Jaeger lights will target the pack howitzer as soon as they see it. Yep, they are. Oh, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. Yeah, they are. Whoa. The pack howitzer does have a 6-man crew, but it gets decrewed if it goes down to 2 men. So it gets recrewed again, and they get chased off again. That's 6 men he's lost recrewing this gun and having them run away again when 1 gets killed. So that's becoming really costly now. Some Rangers come out, the Stuart comes in to assist, and that should be the end of this. That means that the pack gun is going to stay with Hama for now. But a valiant attempt by Price, and forcing a lot of manpower out of his opponent to be lost crewing that pack gun. Don't fall for it, Price. Don't try and man the pack gun. It won't work. Trust me on that one. M1 AT gun gets set up, and that's going to screen out any potential Jagdpanzer. Yep, here is the Jagdpanzer. Oh, he needs to aim this one up here. Aim it up here, buddy. No, I don't like this at all. He's going to try and come in. The M1 AT gun will have this covered, though. Whoa, also these Jaeger light infantry rather overstaying their welcome there. Here comes some veteran riflemen. They're going to be able to get an AT grenade onto the lumbering tank destroyer, which is nearly at a star of veterancy, amazingly. I am not quite sure what it's been doing any damage to, but I mean, it got a hit or 2 on the Stuart, but not enough, I thought, to get this much veterancy. Anyway, doing better than I thought, that unit. So, let's see. He still doesn't have his Schwerer Panzer HQ. So, how much fuel are we at now? 187. Does that mean he's thinking about going for a Panther? Difficult to say. Let's have a look here. I mean, I imagine Hama's going to be doing what we saw him do previously. Yeah, so he's just waiting for Pershing fuel. Pershing manpower now. That's all he's doing, which is frustrating to have to do. He's got so much fuel. He could almost buy 2 Pershings. But oh wow, the pack howitzer was not moved. Oh my god, that seems like an easy pickup for Price. He could even think about salvaging it. Oh no, he's not going to. He's just going to destroy it. Oh wow. I mean, that sends a message. Smoke comes down, of course, but too late there from Hama. How much is this smoke? 50. God, that's such a reasonable ability. Love it. Let's see, where are the Rangers? Oh no, the Rangers have died again. That's 2 squads of Rangers dropped by Hama. A shame there for the elite infantry to go down. Of course, once those Rangers get to like 2-3 star, they start being truly vicious, and the cooked grenade ability that they have is like just nasty. Getting some good shots at the American infantry as it crosses the ice. Price making these Jaeger light squads look real good. When you use them in a mass blob like this, those G43s really take their toll. M1 AT gun gets set up in a good position, but actually it's going to fall back. Oh, careful, Price. You don't want to overextend there. You don't want to overextend. Now, I wonder if Price... I just don't know what the tech choice is going to be. I hope he doesn't feel tempted to call in an Oswin, because I think he has plenty of anti-infantry, and I think his problem is going to be the Pershing moving forwards. Possibly Price is waiting to see... in fact, no, he knows it must be a Pershing coming, because he's seen Rangers and mines and stuff, so he knows it must be the Pershing. So he's probably wondering where the Pershing is, and it's just now entering the field. I'd go and check it out, but there's a sweet battle happening here. Grenade barrage going to come down on the building. A good dodge there from these riflemen. Oh, but here comes a flank from the north and a fantastic concave being formed here. A lot of DPS hooning in for the Axis forces. Where's the Jagdpanzer in all this? Needs to just rotate to look through here because there's armoured targets going on, and if it just came to here and started looking this way, that would be a really sweet position. But I think we're in the time now where you need to turn it to face this way and reverse to here because. A lot of stuff coming in. Ooh, this is going to be a squad wipe. Pershing's gun is just too good. Yep, that's a squad wipe on a squad of Volksgrenadiers who had a Panzerschreck. The Schwerer Panzer HQ coming down in a ludicrously forward position. Price playing for advantage here, and he has a Rakettenwerfer pulled up into a nice position. Now the Jagdpanzer's trying to get some work done, but the front armour of the Pershing just says no, which I do find surprising actually. The Jagdpanzer's normally pretty good against any tank really, but oh, he's getting tempted forward though. This positioning on the Jagdpanzer is suspect. It can now be flanked by the light tank, which can break its engine with the engine brake around. And the Pershing's going to come in, and this is probably a dead Jagdpanzer. I think that this Jagdpanzer was better positioned just back here. But there is a Rakettenwerfer. The Schwerer Panzer HQ makes short work of the light tank. The Rakettenwerfer is going to see off the Pershing, and everything's actually okay in the end for Price now. The Jagdpanzer's at one star. It's going to chase? Oh my god, I don't know about this, but okay, man. Alrighty, Price, I trust your judgment in these things. Wow. I would have, maybe I'm just too cautious with my vehicles, I don't know. Anyway, a push out here of Axis infantry. Oh no, it's not a push out, this is their forward fallback point. But let's see now. Wow, the scoreline actually looking fantastic for Price as well. 447 under the 210 of Hama, or over the 210 of Hama, I should say. So yeah, looking pretty good right now. And also at 64 supply, over 50 for Hama, who's gasping for manpower to replace his losses at the moment. He needs to build more squads, of course. I bet he'd love to have some Rangers on the field, but rear echelons going to be the choice to make up the numbers. And the Pershing will be repaired very shortly, so look to see the American Heavy entering the next battle. This Rakettenwerfer, I'd love to see it just find, yeah, one of these gravestones. Heavy cover here is really good, and from this position it would cover like this entire area here, which is quite valuable. Actually, alternatively, oh, it's a shame this building is so wounded, otherwise he could garrison the building, and that would be quite good as well. Okay, yep, here it is. So it is covering a decent arc here. Jagdpanzer's coming back out, not fully repaired though actually. Where's the Storm Pioneers? Here they are. So I would love to see them go over and help out the Jagdpanzer. Oh, hold fire! Hold fire has been used on these Jägerlights. There we go. They're going to break the hold fire and start gunning people down. They've got what? Increases effective weapon range. Oh, Veteran C4 is good on them. And more accuracy. These guys are now pretty damn elite riflemen. And here, the Pershing just breaks cover, and that's going to draw a shot from the Jagdpanzer and a shot from the Rakettenwerfer, doing reasonable damage there. Oh, the Jagdpanzer just sneaking in another shot there. And at 2 stars, they get the armoured skirts and the improved optics, which means that they can see really far into Fog of War. Well, not really far, but pretty far, nearly as far as the spotting scopes upgrade. So that's a really sweet veterancy upgrade. Oh, whoa, this Pershing's being used way too aggressively. The Jagdpanzer will be really happy to punish that, and if the Rakettenwerfer was in position and firing there would have been a dead Pershing, I feel sure. But for whatever reason, the Rakettenwerfer didn't actually take a shot there, which feels odd. I still think it would be better like behind this wall or like behind one of these gravestones, like this one here would be a really nice place for the Rakettenwerfer, I think, anyway. Up here to the north, a couple of squads here, gonna get stuck in. There's 2 squads of riflemen. Oh, these Volks need to be falling back. Yep, there we go. Yeah. So, of course, no utility car, no Stuart on the field right now, so retreating squads of Axis units have little to fear in the way of being run down by fast light armour. These Jägerlights somehow get the better of one of these squads, and they're going to stick to cover and try and take the other. They're going to need some help though, and that's going to arrive in the form of these Volksgrenadiers who are coming in, and also some more Jägerlights. A lot of stars of veterancy over these Jägerlights. Price using them really quite well, and a King Tiger is the choice. So this is clearly the strat that Price is happy with. He likes to go for a Jagdpanzer to see him through until he gets a King Tiger. And you know, interesting stuff there. I still think that Panther tanks would have been better. They're just always better, in my opinion. But you know, they don't quite, I suppose, have the panache of a King Tiger. They don't quite have that, I don't know, that high impact feel about them. So anyway, 2 squads up in the north going to get some work done, and Hama is actually kind of at 161 under 447 right now. The Pershing's going to head up to the north to try and prevent the cap on these points. But if Price uses hold fire on these guys, which he is actually, and just look, see, they're invisible. That's pretty annoying. Now the Pershing's going to have to find them. There we go, it does find them. That should be a fallback. Price, I fear for these Jaegerites. There we go. Yeah, don't worry about capturing the point, buddy. Keeping these guys alive is much more important. They're going to have to fall back through so many American units, though, with the Pershing chasing them. This is a dead squad for sure. Look at these guys, lined up, ready to take the shots. Gunned down like a dog in the wild. Unfortunate there for those Jaegerite infantry. Here comes the Tiger, ambling its way onto the field, and it seems like Price does not have the winter version of the camo, so this Tiger obviously going to be not as effective as the other Tiger that we saw in the previous game. Of course, its armour now thinner because it doesn't have that extra layer of camo paint on the outside, so we'll have to see how that affects the performance of the heavy tank. So the American force is focusing their attention right now in the north. This Axis infantry is quite the issue, though. He needs to try and just get some squad wipes with the Pershing, which he is doing. Oh, the invisible tank destroyer lurking. Anyway, here comes the King Tiger. The big cat's going to make itself known. Now, it is not set to prioritise vehicles, so it's going to fire this main cannon at whatever unit it can acquire with the horrendously slow, lumbering turret rotation. And it looks like that first target is going to be the Pershing, though. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Ding! So that's going to force the American Heavy back, and good as the Pershing is, it starts to look a little inadequate next to something like this. Now, a good Zoop shot actually chipping in for some damage there on the side armour. Jagdpanzer's going to come forward. There's a little bit of infantry here, but I worry it's not enough. The King Tiger gets some work done against the AT squad, but it's actually taking a lot of damage, and it's going to have its engine broken here by a rifle grenade from these riflemen. No? Oh, yep, there it is, yep, sure. For a second there I thought it wasn't going to be used. And this is now risky because the M1 has it. The Pershing this is the kind of fight the Pershing thrives in, using its manoeuvrability and its range and the power of its main gun to hound stricken German infantry. Oh no, a squad of 3-star rear echelons lost by getting into a building which didn't have very much health, but that Pershing is still hooning in for damage, and this is why the American Heavy is a really good unit. You don't use it like a Tiger tank. It is not a mobile bunker. It's not a mobile heavy fire piece. It's like a high mobility, long range weapon platform. Oh my god, though, it gets abandoned by the Jagdpanzer, which chews it up with its next hit. So wow, so much for the American Heavy. I suppose it was very wounded. And actually, this pack howitzer is starting to do some work here. But Hama is going to call it, having lost the Pershing and being very low on victory points against a really quite well composed and very dug in over command force. He's going to call it a day there, and that brings the score between these two players this fine morning to 1-all. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to play again, but I will check back into the live games lobby, because if there's a third game almost to make this a best of 3 between them, that would be sweet. I'm not going to lie. So I'll go check into that. But for now, this is Magpie 842 signing out.